Sweden is implanting microchips into thousands of people, and the scary part isn't the chip. Now, this isn't theory, not conspiracy. This is real. Thousands of people voluntarily using them for keys, transit, payments. But here's what everyone gets wrong. The chip isn't the threat. These implants can't track you. There's no GPS, no signal. They only work when scanned, like a key card, but under your skin, at least for now. So if the chip isn't the danger, then what is? The system it connects to. And guess what? You're already in it. Your ID, your access, your money. Right now, mostly separate. But the infrastructure to link them is already being built. And this is how it always happens. Not forced, integrated, optional, then convenient, then normalized, then required. Digital IDs, cashless payments, smart cities. Alone, useful. Together, total control. You don't need to implant control into people. You just build systems they can't live without, then make opting out impossible. Look around. It's already happening.
License plate readers track cars, but as reported by 404 Media, a new surveillance product changes all of that. It's called Signal Trace, and it turns license plate cameras into devices that sweep the unique identifiers of every phone, wireless device, and Bluetooth transmitter in passing vehicles. Here's what it actually means. In addition to capturing the license plate, Signal Trace's sensors sweep up the Bluetooth identifiers for every phone in the vehicle, every wireless earbud, every smartwatch, your car's infotainment system, and the microchip that your vet implanted in your pet. That means if your dog is in the vehicle when you pass one of these cameras, there is now a timestamp location record on that chip. Signal Trace links all those unique identifiers to your license plate and the exact time you pass through the camera. Leonardo's own product sheet calls this an electronic footprint. That footprint is then put into a database for law enforcement to query. That means your phone, your AirPod, your devices, all connected to your location at a specific time indefinitely. And here's the really scary part. It doesn't have to be attached to a license plate camera. The sensors work in malls, subways, anywhere it's deployed.
My responsibility was project leader or the senior project engineer. We began to work on the design of a microchip that, when it was completed, was 0.75 millimeters in diameter, 7 millimeters long. It was the size of 1/4 of a grain of rice. Again, I want to say that I was not a Christian and there were no Christians there. They said they wanted this to have a power source and be able to emit a signal. And they told us they wanted us to use lithium as a battery source. Lithium's used in watch batteries. It's used in heart pacemaker batteries. It's used in a lot of places. I designed into this microchip a little charging circuit that would charge that battery. This sounds like a lot of technical things coming together, but if you'll bear with me 1 minute, you'll see what God has laid out about this microchip. When we discovered that we needed to be able to charge that battery, I needed a temperature change, a change in temperature to cause current to flow through that little charging circuit that would charge the battery. So we began to investigate and find out where in the body does the temperature change the most rapidly. We spent over $1 million in taxpayer money, and when the results came back, there was a lot of information. We divided it up amongst 3 teams and then came back together with that information. It was determined that there were 2 places in the body that were ideal for the microchip. One was just below the hairline on the forehead. Every mother checks their child's temperature right here. So we could have paid the mothers $1 million and saved I never saw a mother check their child's temperature on their ankle. Always right here. The other place was the hand, the right hand preferred, because most people are right-handed. This didn't bother me, and it didn't bother anybody else on the team. The hand seemed a good place. Nobody wanted it here. And so the design work, everything was completed. The microchip was done. You are seeing it now on some of the Discovery Channel presentations. There are people who have received it already. It is real. It's not something that's coming way down the road. They gave me a Bible. They told me not to read the book of Revelation. They said the book of Revelation is too hard to understand. So I waited, and I didn't read the book of Revelation for quite some time. Then one day I came to Revelation 13, verse 16. And he caused us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. I didn't like what I saw. I went back and looked up the word mark. I went to the Strong's Concordance, and I found that John had used three words for the word mark. Charagma, charicature, and charax. That was from the Greek. I looked at those words. They talked about a scratch or an etching. They talked about a lot of things. And I said, God, this isn't it. We didn't do it. He said, go to the word for 666. The word is chixastigma. In the Greek, it says to go to 4742 as a cross. The last half of the word chixastigma. And when I looked at what it says stizo, i.e. to stick, to prick, a mark incised or punched into for recognition of ownership. I thought about the little injection tool. The end of it is called an incisor. I began to weep and I began to cry, and I said, oh God, what have we done? I couldn't believe that this lined up with what we had developed. And I began to run from God. I didn't run away from the church. I ran into the church. I tried to do as many things as I could to atone for this. But I want to tell you something. As God is my witness here tonight, this got in the way. Money got in the way. I had beautiful homes overlooking the lake. I had all the things that I wanted. And I ran because of the money. My ability to go and get $250,000 in research money took me away from telling the message. I ran for many years. What I want to tell you is that this is real. The microchip implant is real. Credit cards are failing. They can be counterfeited. The new smart card can be counterfeited. They can be stolen. They can be lost. All kinds of things can happen to a card. But you cannot lose your hand. Very quickly, they're going to move to this being in the hand. And I tell you, as a Christian, you cannot take this. No matter what anybody says, God's word says you cannot take it. No matter what they try to talk you into, God's word says don't take it. In Revelation 14, verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. It's very simple. God's word says do not take it. Today there have been over 15,000 babies that have been given the positive identification, the microchip. Many companies are using the microchip as identification in their top-level employees. The Immigration Naturalization Service has a better passport, the human hand.